Hi everyone, I'm Frank, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the basic terminology related to special education.
Okay, let's start with some unfamiliar terms you may hear if you are new to special education. The first important term to understand is FAPE, or FAPE, or Free Appropriate Public Education. This is a federal right that has been upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. Basically, no matter what a student's specific special needs are, they are still entitled to a quality education that is 100% free for the family. This means that any barrier to academic success created by a student's special needs has to be provided and paid for by a public school district. Next up is LRE. LRE stands for Least Restrictive Environment. Schools have a legal obligation to keep students in the least restrictive environment possible. Basically, this is a rule that says that any special education student must be placed in a school setting as close as possible to their general education peers. As you can see in this graph, ideally you want them on the left side, on the general education classroom. If necessary, they can be put into a separate space inside of that school, and only when absolutely necessary can the student be educated outside of the school itself. Students should only be placed outside of the general education classroom if it's an absolute necessity. There will be instances, such as a major medical need, where students will have to be outside of the class or school, but that should only be done after it is determined the student could not receive the medical or other type of care they need inside the classroom or school building. Finally, I want to discuss non-discriminatory evaluations. This is a legal right that all students have to be evaluated for special education in a way that will not discriminate against them. Perhaps the most common example is a student cannot be evaluated for special education in a language that they don't understand. You can't ask a student who only speaks Spanish to take an English language evaluation and then make decisions based off their performance on that assessment. Parents that feel that their student was not offered a non-discriminatory evaluation have a right to appeal any decisions made, and the law takes a dim view of schools cutting corners in ensuring the evaluation was fair and accessible. Now that we know a few key terms, let's discuss one of the most confusing issues for parents and teachers who are new to special education: the difference and similarities between an IEP and a 504. IEP stands for Individualized Education Plan. 504 is short for Section 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act. An IEP and a 504 have several things in common. For example, both will lay out specific accommodations and modifications to assignments that will help a student access grade-level work. Both of them may specify that the student needs special consideration, such as frequent bathroom breaks for diabetic students, or preferential seating for students with difficulties staying focused. Adhering to either an IEP or 504 plan is a legal obligation on the part of individual teachers and the school generally. The main difference between the two is that a 504 is for a very broad variety of needs, and usually only requires more subtle alterations to classroom content, such as seating location, or allowing more time for assignments. An IEP is for more specific disabilities and usually entails access to more specialized services. This might include regular time with a counselor or physical therapist, or in extreme cases, being placed into a substantially separate classroom setting. It is a myth that a student on an IEP or 504 is getting easier work. The truth is that the work has been scaffolded so that they are able to complete the work without their disability negatively affecting them. This may be as simple as providing large print versions of handouts, or allowing students to use a speech-to-text program for writing essays. Of course, there can be far more elaborate accommodations based on the learner profile of the student. Never be afraid to consult the special education coordinator at your school if you have questions about meeting a student's needs. A word of caution: IEPs and 504s are not for everyone, and the evaluation process leading to the creation of a plan can take time. Consult your school's director of special education if you think either may be the right choice for a student. Finally, here are a few extra resources for parents and educators who would like to learn more on the topic of special education.
Got a classroom seat and a desk that fits, but the rules ain't the same, gotta know the bits. One's a tightrope act, one's a wider span. Let me break it down, it's the IEP and the 504 plan. Both got your back. It's the law, my friend. Free and appropriate till the very end. EP's for the kids with a stricter need. Taylor goals, it's a sharper creed. 504 spreads the net real wide, accommodates the journey, it smooths the ride. Both give you space, help you climb that high. Least restrictive, yeah, they keep it right. IEP's a contract with targets in view. Special as the ticket, yeah, it's built for you. 504's a ramp, not a whole new road. Adjust the load, but you still carry the code. Equal footing, that's the game they play. Different routes, but the same old way.